I, Phoenix, entered the labyrinth, its endless passages twisting and turning like the threads of my own mind. Within these walls lay mysteries I longed to uncover. Where do I start? Where do I end? I had been placed here by decree of the king, a noble citizen tasked with a journey I barely understood. My companions, Mason and Atlas, shared in my initial excitement. We were giddy with the prospect of exploration, ignorant of the trials that lay ahead. The labyrinth's beauty was deceptive. Its design, so intricate, seemed to reflect more than craftsmanship. It mirrored something internal. We wandered, marveling at its elaborate construction, but the further we went, the more it began to play tricks on our consciousness. Time stretched and folded in on itself. The air grew heavier, and though no beast yet appeared, an unseen presence loomed. As hours passed, the thrill of discovery faded. Mason broke the silence. "My legs are hurting. Can we rest?" he said, weariness evident in his voice. Atlas added, "I think we should leave." I stood firm. Though the mysteries remained elusive, I felt an unshakable pull to continue. "No, we shall not leave," I declared, "but we will rest here for the night." And so we did, setting up a crude camp under the labyrinth's cold, silent sky. At 3:59 a.m., I was awakened by a roar that echoed from the depths of the maze. The sound was primal, shaking the ground beneath us. As I rose, my breath caught in my chest. Emerging from the shadows was Asterion, the beast whose name was whispered throughout the land. His massive form seemed to distort the space around him, a living landmark within the labyrinth. I felt his presence resonate, as though it marked a place of profound significance within the mind. My companions reacted instinctively. Mason cried out, "Run!" and prepared to flee, while Atlas stood frozen, paralyzed by terror. I, caught between their opposing reactions, whispered to myself, "What should I do?" Before I could act, an intense light burst forth, blinding Asterion and halting his charge. From this light emerged Calum, an illuminated being whose presence calmed the chaos. His form radiated wisdom and power, his voice deep and resonant. "Young one," he said, "you stand at the threshold of what you seek. Take my hand." Trusting the light within him, I grasped his hand. As Asterion roared and launched toward us, Calum's effulgence surged. In an instant, the labyrinth vanished, and I found myself in a place far darker. This was the cosmic void, a realm of infinite depth and timeless stillness. My companions were no longer with me. Here I felt the weight of eternity and the potential of all that could ever be. The answers I sought seemed to whisper on the edges of consciousness, just out of reach. Yet the void held no direct revelation, only an invitation to linger in its profound silence. Before I could grasp the fullness of this place, a sudden shift occurred. In a flash, I stood once again at the labyrinth's entrance. The air was still, the night serene, as though nothing had happened. As I looked down, faint carvings in the stone seemed to whisper a timeless truth found in the temple of Apollo. "What just happened?" I murmured, the question echoing in my mind as I stared at the labyrinth's daunting entrance. The mysteries remained, unresolved and elusive, pointing me inward. Was the experience real? Or had I merely wandered through the chambers of my own mind?